Yo, what is up, guys? Matty here from DCL Blogger slash Mattyverse. How are we doing this morning? It is a fine morning today, guys. Very excited to jump on stream today. Had a lot of AI, sharing a lot of AI content yesterday. So we're going to go through a little bit of that. But man, it's going to be an exciting stream. The regular faces, seeing you guys here once again. Let's see who's here. Justin Casey, Jake Spin Music, what's going on? Free the Fib, good morning NFT fam. Jake Spin Music, good morning, good morning. MB Shade X, good morning. Patrick Bateman, what's going on? A bit of American Psycho love there. What is up, guys? Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm very excited to do the stream today, guys. I'm going to keep it very strict to about 35 minutes. There's about 10 people watching the stream. I think people are used to me starting a couple minutes late, so we'll wait another minute or so. I guess the structure of this, guys. Good morning, good morning. Some new faces around. What's going on? Fuad T. Hope I said that right. Charlie, what is going on? Square morning, good morning. Yeah. Normally what I do is we go through some content and some Q&A, and then I ramble along for maybe another 10 minutes about some random stuff, and then we jump to you guys and pull up some projects if we can. But this time I wanted to ask right at the start if you guys wanted me to pull up any projects. So if along this, and I will keep checking if there's any projects you want me to check out, any news that you've come out. So I'm not going to be shilling a random project if you want me to pull up something here, but that's very random. I won't do it unless we have a lot of spare time. But if you would like me to check out something that's recently happened in the space that you were interested for whatever reason, that has to be recent news or some project maybe, throw it in here, right? This stream has become around a lot of different topics now. It's covering tech in general. I know some people are here for the NFT love, and we'll always do a bit of that, but we can't ignore the fact that the world is changing in multiple different industries, and the growth of AI and the growth of NFTs and the growth of these technologies are going to enable and bring forward the roadmaps of a lot of Web3 NFT projects that we are waiting for, a lot of Metaverse-esque ideas that we're waiting for. And this is why these are so interesting and important, because human labor is why things take time. And if we can cut that time by implementing tools that automate some of these functions, then suddenly things are just going to become, they're going to be achievable. What was laid out for a year will be achievable in 3 months. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to go through this stuff, right? We have to be aware of it. Enel, good morning, good morning. Mid-Journey for the win. Yeah, Mid-Journey is an interesting one. Let me pull that up over here. If you guys are not familiar with Mid-Journey, I actually learned about it just recently. So I am not I'm not fully familiar with it, but my art director for the MetaKey has shared with me, shared his screen and showed me a bunch of different stuff that was going on. So we'll open up Mid-Journey a little bit. Looks like I've got to join the Discord. Maybe we'll just open up Mid-Journey in Google Images. For now. Rumble Kong League, Tiberius Max, good to see you, man. It's been a while. Rumble Kong League, has that had some news? So let me quickly pull that up. This is what we do around here, guys. I share some news, you guys share some news, we all learn together, right? This is how we're going to curate the best news content for the mornings, because we're all going to come together and tell each other about what's going on. Okay. Hey, pretty cool. Yeah, nice one. Nice find there. CryptoPunks V1 and VV collections have been having some love, so we'll open up that up a little bit. So VV collections, which one specifically? There's been a few, right? CryptoPunks V1. All right, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna open this, and that's it, guys. We're gonna jump to some content. So again, some of you guys are new. For those that are, we're gonna cover a bunch of different news here. We cover things like Metaverse, Web3, NFTs, AI now. We try and cover topics that are impactful. So normally that is stuff that we're interested, not so much for the financial benefit as the blockchain and crypto and NFT industry has been for the most part, but what's innovative and pivotal for the direction that we have been or are moving in. Those are the innovations that we have to keep on top of, right? So let's jump into it, guys. Let's jump into it. If you're new here, we go through some content. It's the block runner, guys. What's going on? We've been looking into this AI stuff lately as well. Guys, the block runner. I love these guys. Will and Iman. It's been a while. The OGs in DCL. We gotta connect again. It's been a while. So yeah, if you're new, we cover content every single day, 8 a.m. Monday to Friday. I've been firing up these streams. You know what? Let's do it with the block runner next week sometimes if they're available. They're pretty fun dudes. So yeah, Monday to Friday, every single day. We've been streaming all this sort of stuff. So let's jump into it, guys. We're gonna go through some of this content. And yesterday I finally got the opportunity to share this tweet thread that I have been working on for a while. So I've been working on this for a while. I think it took me a day or so to curate some of this content. 20 AI tools every human needs to be aware of, and I kind of said human because I think it's the time we start to distinguish between humans and bots around us. Want to increase your productivity by 300%. Honestly, 300% is conservative. Some of these tools have knocked hours off production, some of these processes. And when I go through some of these tools, guys, and I go through some of them, they are not sort of your fad tools that are good to show your family, your friends, and then forget about them. They are tools that you should be looking at implementing in your life. Every time you're doing something, if it's on the internet, every minimal function or everything that you're doing something on the internet is taking an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You should be looking at, wait a second, can I automate this? Can this become faster? I think there's a lot of talk, and I want to do a thread about this today or tomorrow. There's a lot of talk about whether AI will replace human jobs, and I think I would love to be positive to the workforce that we have and the labor around the world that it won't, but I think for the large part it will, and it's important to be aware of that, and it's important to acknowledge just how crazy that might be and how realistic that reality might be. Because we're going to act, when we take action and mass action, we do it out of two things. One, we're hyper passionate, or two, we're super fearful about what's going to happen. So it is important to acknowledge that it's to some degree, or maybe to a large degree, there's going to be a lot of labor cut in the world because AI tools will be able to do things faster. Now, on the flip side, and this is why this thread I'm going to do is super interesting, because I think on the flip side, the expectation of each employee within a company and their output capabilities will be increased. When someone employs a person to do a digital function, whether it be to build a landing page or to code something or whatever it be, over time, that output expectation will increase because you are able to use tools to make your life better and faster, to do your work faster. Just like back in the day, and if you pulled out a calculator in like 2005 and did your math in front of your parents, they would have just laughed at you because they did it on their hand on paper, and they would have been like, in my days we used to do this on paper, on hand. I still remember my dad used to calculate on his notebook back in the day, right, in like 2000 or something. And so calculators made math extremely quicker to find a solution for, right? So just like that, AI tools will make much of the current processes dinosaur processes. And suddenly it'll be like, well, if you're employed in a company, they're going to be like, why are you coding from scratch when you could just write what you want here and it'll pull out the function for you? You should be able to use these tools. So whatever you are and whatever you guys do, you've got to check out how AI tools are being used and figure out and be ahead of the curve, because there's that window of opportunity. I think in the next 10 years, as we transition into this, I mean, people in the real world have no clue this is going on. I'm telling everyone around me, and it's kind of like the NFT thing again, but no one knows what's going on. When everyone's like, Matty, what are you talking about? AI and automation? But when I'm showing them, they're mind blown, right? But they don't know what's going on. So I feel like in Twitter, I'm just in this little bubble with all of you guys, and we're all talking about how awesome it's going to be, and it is going to be awesome. But in the real world, not many people care. All right, guys, the third point as to what's important about AI making processes faster, expecting more out of the human output, / maybe cutting a ton of jobs. And we have to be realistic about this, guys. I wanted to put out tweets and content and really think about, is there going to be is AI going to not replace creativity, or AI is not going to replace certain functions, and is human beings always going to have a job and all sorts of stuff? But I think we have to look at how freaking crazy this is, right? And anyway, the third thing that I think will happen, where it's going to have a monumental impact on society and especially macroeconomy and microeconomy, is things are going to get insanely cheap for the average human being to get access to. Why would a subscription model business exist when you can just type into a tool, hey, GPT chat, make me a Chrome browser plugin that auto translates things for me on the internet, right? And maybe traditionally you were paying $5 a month to get that function on some sort of a plugin. Even AI tools like Jasper, there's this tool here that I was going to go through a little bit later called Jasper. Guys, Jasper is an AI tool. It's got a library of AI tools you can do, right? So you can do content summarizing, you can write product descriptions for Amazon, you can make large content into bullet points. There's a lot here. There's like 30 to 40 tools here, right? You know what this company is valued at? Jasper valuation. Look at this. That company is valued at $1.5 billion. It raised $125 million to innovate a toolkit for human beings that they can use to make things faster. Now, Jasper was something I was like, whoa, this is epic, like 1 week ago. And then GPT chat came around, or chat GPT, I think it's GPT chat, and it made 80% of this obsolete. Like I can go into GPT chat and type in, hey, give me a description for a Google ad that I'm doing, and it'll give me some of the best descriptions. It'll give me content that's better than this. So I think that AI will start to replace subscription model businesses. Will start to replace businesses on the internet that monetize through a service, because you can create the tool within just a command exactly how you want it. And that functionality is not available now, but I don't see why it will not be available in like 5 years, right? 5 to 10 years is plenty of time now that AI is going to make everything faster. All right. So I can talk about AI for a while. Let's dive into some of these tools that I have shared, right? So again, yesterday night in the evening, my time, I shared this approximately about 12 hours ago, actually, 7:36 p.m. It's currently 8:15 a.m. I shared this, right? Want to increase your productivity by 300%, 20 AI tools every human needs to be aware of. So let's go through some of this stuff. I think it's super, super interesting. Right? Yeah. Kingston over here saying ChatGPT entered the lobby by Fiverr. Pretty much. All right.
A synthesized AI.
So this here,
so
believe it or not,
a real recording of me.
I hope you guys can hear this well.
Learning, which I think is pretty cool. The audio is me.
I hope you guys can hear this well. Believe it or not,
hey everyone,
this is an AI generated video. So this guy has fed it just a backdrop. He's fed it some audio. He's probably taken some screenshots and pictures and maybe some simple video angles of himself from everywhere. And then once he's done that, it's set up. The template has been set. He's fed this thing called Synthesia. Um, a 15-second. He's spent 15 seconds recording the audio through voice. Then he's fed it in here, and he's clicked generate, and it spent 5 minutes to generate this video result. Think how powerful this is. Like, look how realistic this is.
AI.
First of all,
So this is not a real recording of me. It's generated through machine learning, which I think is pretty cool. The audio is me, but the recording is not.
come on, like you will not. I cannot tell that is fake. I would no one that I have showed that to has been able to tell on first glance that that has been AI generated video content. Eventually it's going to get to a stage where even audio, you don't even need to feed it. You'll just have to type in what you want it to say, and it will say it better than you will, right? And think about how much content the world can produce that way, where TikTok videos or YouTube shorts, etc., are being produced by just AI generated avatars at some point. And people are just feeding it information. In fact, eventually people are just going to run a whole freaking Twitter or TikTok account about the latest news, and just like, is there relevance for me to even exist? Maybe to cover this whole macro thing, but maybe I can almost feed my consciousness into an AI tool and then get that to do this stuff for me. Maybe one of these streams, maybe I will do it without telling you guys through an AI and see if you guys notice, right? Let's see if I'm going to try that one day. But yeah, it's going to get real insane. Like if we can get to that quality, I mean, is there a limit? Is there a limit to this stuff? So I went through some other tools. So Content Simplifier by Jasper. Jasper again has a bunch of different tools that we can use. So this one here, you can paste in a pretty complex topic. So in this case, cryptocurrency. I mean, it's not complex for probably all of you guys here, but it's always been complex for someone like my mom, my dad. Saying the words cryptocurrency has been difficult for them, difficult to explain to them. So if I were to paste it here, and we click create content, and it simplifies this stuff. So it says, cryptocurrency is a type of money that is made up of code. Not really, not exactly. It's different from regular money because it's not controlled by any government or bank. It's made by people who use computers to make it. Cryptocurrencies can be used to buy things, and they can be used to send money to other people. I mean, that's super simple. It's almost pretty dumb. But I'm sure GPT chat can actually do this even better. So to simplify certain things. This is actually peppertype.ai. I thought that was quite interesting because, like, even the concept of the metaverse and NFTs, unless you can articulate that in a simple manner to the common person who doesn't know what's going on here, almost like an explain it like I'm 5 scenario, then it's going to be very difficult to onboard people into new technologies, because as long as it's run by us, the nerds, who are very deep in this space and use jargon and words that no one else understands but us, it's going to take a while for this stuff to catch fire, right? Because mainstream don't know what the hell we're talking about. We keep going down here. We got Lexica. Lexica.art is a free app, I believe. And this one's really interesting because how many times have you made some content on YouTube, or maybe made a website, and you've searched Google for images, and you're like, well, I love this image here, but I'm not paying $100 for this wallpaper because I want to use it as a YouTube thumbnail maybe, or on my landing page. And if you have some money, you'd probably spend it on some of this stuff. But if you don't, what are you going to do? And Lexica or these image generation tools are quite interesting because you can say, well, shiny red car with stripes. Suddenly, it's going to give you a bunch of different red cars with stripes. Maybe you can say Dodge Viper with stripes, or be very specific to what you want, and this thing will generate different versions for you. So if you want to, maybe you can just have this, and suddenly you have royalty-free images, right? I thought that was quite powerful. Content Summarizer. So this one here summarizes content. So this one doesn't simplify, it summarizes. It basically just copy and pasted an article. I did not even take out the random stuff. So all of these random text, I just said Control A, Control C, and Control V, right? You click generate, and suddenly it'll summarize stuff. So it'll find the most impactful points. Ludo is a company that uses generative artificial intelligence to help game developers such as artists and designers to be more productive. The point of using AI is not to put human creators out of jobs. Ludo has more than 8,000 developers using an AI tool. Like this stuff, I could almost copy paste to a TikTok or a YouTube script where you're talking for 30 seconds and you need to just pull out the main points out of an article. So of you spending 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to go through these and finding these points and understanding the article, probably skim it and then just copy paste this. And then boom, you have a TikTok script, right? So, I mean, that's really quick. Content video library. This one was really interesting. So this one, you actually feed it content. You feed this one content and it finds it finds video content that you can put as background to that video when it's being shared on TikTok or YouTube. So these are actually videos, they're not images. And these are videos for each line that has come. So security. So we're talking about security, talking about exchanges, and it's actually a video. We didn't actually let the video play for too long, but each video can go for about 5 to 10 seconds, right? And suddenly you have a set of videos in the back that you can put together as just like, say for example, so this is where you can start to merge technologies, right? This is where we'll start to merge technologies, where we're going to say, well, you know what? Let me write a script. You know, not even let me write a script. Let me tell ChatGPT to go find the most interesting content about AI. Let me auto feed that into Synthesia.io and get an avatar video of myself. On the backdrop of that avatar, let me play this videos for that text, for that speech. And suddenly you have, my friends, YouTube content made purely by AI. And you try a bit of that and ask yourself, with the output that you can now do, you can probably make 10 videos instead of 1 for the day or 3 for the day. And if that gets more of an impact on Twitter, TikTok and stuff, then you're going to suddenly ask yourself, well, worth me even jumping on video for this stuff? And if yes, to what degree? Yeah, this is going to be insane. Anyway, guys, I think you know, we'll go through some more, but we won't go through each one. So tweet ideas sounds pretty cool. You can type in, you know, give me some tweet ideas, and it'll tell you what sort of things to do. So ask people. This is about zombie killer. So a video game run by zombies. That's the general topic. Ask people to share ideas for killing a zombie. Tweet about the best strategy for killing zombies. A screenshot of zombie attacking a human. Talk about the greatest zombie games of all time. There's some content ideas. Maybe if you're running out of stuff, because it's really bloody good for content creators. If you're running out of ideas, because sometimes we go through mental blanks where there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but we don't know what the heck to do because either we're paralyzed or they're just, sometimes there's not anything to talk about, right? One shot blog post, you literally put in a word and it spits out a whole freaking blog post for you. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. I think it just spat out artificial intelligence, and there's a whole blog post over here about that. This one was super interesting. This originally, this trailer came out, and it was the Mario trailer, and it had a voice on it that wasn't the original Mario game character voice, right? The original game character voice was done by Charles Martinet, and he had done this, had done the Mario voice since like 1998 or something. So this person, whoever made this, put that voiceover through AI and overlaid it onto the original trailer, and now you got Mario's voice.
What is this place? Huh? Oh. Do not touch that, Mario! Come, kingdom. Here we come.
You overlaid Mario's voice onto this. Now think about what that can do, because maybe now, when movies, well, eventually probably full blown out movies will be produced by AI, but maybe when directors are creating movies and they're trying to figure out, well, what's the best voice actor for this specific character, they can overlay example voices of maybe some bunch of different characters and different styles on a look. When they shoot the scene, they can overlay that with some audio and say, you know what, it actually sounds better if it's this way or that way, and have it and change the voice actor or the actor completely based on that. They can choose better actors for the movie. But then again, are movies going to be made fully with AI? Is there even going to be a need for actors? Are we actually going to get AI generated celebrities that are going to be actors for movies? I don't know. I don't know how crazy this is going to be. All right, Tweet Machine comes up with ideas again. This one over here was also interesting.
Creates these cuts for you
This
automatically.
one goes through a big piece of content and cuts it or finds some TikTok-esque content for you. So it'll go through this whole thing. It'll find and generate, different pieces of content for you, and then it'll put that into TikTok, or based on what sort of formats or resolution formats you put it in, it'll output it into that. So maybe you want it as a short YouTube video, it'll find that and make it into a short YouTube video. Maybe you want it as a TikTok and you want to overlay it with the script, it'll do that. So very, very quickly, you saved yourself an hour because you're not going through the video or cutting the start and finish. And you know what this tool also does? It's called Wise Cut. It cuts out the silences. You can find the silences automatically and it'll cut it out for you. It's pretty interesting. This one generates images of you. What else we got here? This one was super interesting. So this one, you upload an image of, say, your empty floor. So this is just like something taken from Google, and it'll spit out an aesthetic, an interior design for it. It's not perfect, but man, this thing spits out. So you can choose things like contemporary. You can say 1 render or 2 renders. You can say, more. What do you want? So like more creative and fast. You want it in the kitchen? Is it a kitchen? You can give it a style. You can delegate it a room category, and you can generate a whole interior design for it. And if that's the case, why do we need interior designers? Why? Right? Man, that's crazy. AutoCut, we're going through that. This was quite usable, I thought, for probably families, because you could circle certain things that you want replaced, and you can replace it with different things. You want to replace a mushroom with the flowers and hats and things, or whatever. Maybe like even houses from a bird's eye view. Quite realistic. I mean, each one of these are different. You probably would not be able to tell that much, maybe a little bit, but it'll probably change with AI. You can probably tell a little bit that it's been changed, but over time you can replace certain things. So how would this be usable? Maybe how it'd be usable? You know exactly how it will be usable. It'd be usable in conjunction with this interior design tool, where you're going to let it generate an aesthetic for you. But then maybe you want to replace certain things. So you're going to click on the chairs, and you're going to just filter through the different chairs that's available. That's how it's going to be usable. I think a standalone, these tools aren't immediately clear as to how they're going to be used. But when you think about merging them, you start to figure out some solutions. Royalty-free music generator. I think this was super interesting. I think this royalty-free music generator is interesting, because you feed it. You don't feed it a tune. You select what sort of tunes you want, and then it just spits all these out for you. It's pretty good. I use some of those behind my videos, and suddenly I don't have to pay for music, right? This one was super interesting. The depth to image by stability AI version 2. So there's a version 2. And this outputs based on a 3D model or a simple image that you put in. Textured variations. You got a Star Wars character, pineapple over here. It looks pretty damn real. And if you're making a game and you want to design, say, 100 different avatars for it, like, why wouldn't you just make a base model and go generate? It's out 100 different models. You pick the top 10. There you go. Game modeling done. Done for you. Right? Insane. And ChatGPT, of course. This one specifically was used to debug or find exploits into a contract. So this thing actually said it read this whole contract and found an attack vector. It said it appears that the contract has a potential re-entrancy vulnerability. The withdraw function calls msg.sender.call with a specified amount of value, but does not check the call was successful before subtracting the amount from the sender's balance. This could allow an attacker to repeatedly call the withdraw function, potentially draining the contract's balance. And I swear to God, guys, this has happened. I have seen contract exploits come out and tens of millions of dollars being taken out of the contract, and people saying, "Oh, this is what they effed up on." This spits out freaking code for you. So you tell it write code, and it will spit it out for you. So it'll make a tool if you want to. And this is where the idea came from, where it'll even get you to make a tool on the spot, and suddenly SAS models, SAS models will just be threatened, right? All right, and the last one over here was a little bit of a bonus. This was made by inventor Shane Whiten, and this
So it turns
basketball
out great.
hoop
Not only does it sync shots, it knows
board
all about your shot. It knows where it.
does not allow you to miss. You can just throw it at the board and it'll put it in. And this guy has made it in a way where it actually picks up who the shooter is, and you upload that information, and based on you and your shooting style, it'll change the directions, and the robotics will work so that you'll never miss a shot.
Everything that's going on in the room, it figures out if a ball is coming at it and what trajectory it's on, and then it uses that information to figure out how it needs to move the backboard so that it'll direct the ball into the hoop. So it works pretty darn well. So getting this whole system working was not easy. There's only about 600 milliseconds from when I throw the ball to when it strikes. Is it following?
Crazy. All right. So that's that. And you know, guys, we can talk about it. I could have put another 30 tools there quite easily, but I didn't, because I thought it'd be a bit overwhelming for everyone, and for me as well. It was getting a bit overwhelming. But we're probably going to cover real quickly stuff in 2 minutes, guys. I'm going to jump to you guys for a bit of a chat. But yeah, Jasper.ai, a bunch of tools here we can use. Now, some of these things are just an easier way to show ChatGPT, but I don't see why we wouldn't use ChatGPT for some of this stuff. Quora answers, product descriptions, photo post captions. You can just type this stuff into a larger AI generating tool. And it's quite interesting because this whole thing suddenly, from like 2 weeks of it coming out, in 2 weeks of it being on my radar, suddenly I'm like, this is probably going to be obsolete in like another year. All right, so Artifact released their crypto kicks, right? So we're going to jump to a little bit of Metaverse NFT news, guys. So if you're here jumping from the AI world, we talk a little bit about the NFT virtual world a little bit as well, because all these technologies are coming together. Artifact is a company out there that has made virtual fashion NFTs, and they've been innovating on the front for a while. They've been acquired by Nike. I think it's been about maybe a year now, been acquired by Nike. They came out with this, coming out with crypto kicks. Crypto kicks seems to be a bunch of different shoes that you can get, both in the digital and I'm not sure in the physical. Maybe they're just in the digital. Now they've revealed what was in the monolith. So they revealed what was in this monolith, right? And it's quite interesting because the floor has dropped significantly. Now 1.3 ETH for the monolith, Nike monolith. Now they revealed what's in it. It's gone down to 0.26 ETH, and probably one of the reasons for that has probably been this. Due to the advanced tech and product regulations, products can only be shipped to US. So someone like me, who's got like 60 CloneXs and like 30 or 50 monoliths, what am I supposed to do with this? And suddenly a lot of people are not very happy. They're not very happy. So there's a lot of people kind of giving it a lot of slack. I mean, people do like the innovative aspect of this. Pretty damn cool. We're all sneakerheads around here at this point. But you know, if 90% of your customer base are not located in the US, then how you know, you're going to make a big portion of the community quite disappointed. So anyway, I don't know what they're going to do this, but I also want to point out that it is not very easy, guys, to maintain hype. It's not very easy to maintain interest in a project month on month ongoing. It takes time to innovate, and these guys are just shipping as much as they can. They're just shipping, coming up with new ideas, putting it out there ASAP. Sort of expected to at this point, but the reality is, through the pressure that you can't really think long-term strategy through as clearly. Luckily, they've been around for a while, so I'm sure some of these ideas have been on the back burner that they're putting back out. They're putting out a move to earn model, so you're going to be able to, it looks like, earn some token or some points. I mean, if they say earn, then that's definitely got to do with the cryptocurrency, right? And if they say cryptocurrency, this surely that means that artifact tokens around the corner. That's quite interesting. So there's going to be a move to earn model, but if the shoes cannot be shipped to 80% of your customer base, then I don't know if that was a good move. So let's see how this plays out. Let's not talk about artifact too much because it's an ongoing thing. Keep changing, and if people aren't happy, they'll change it, right? First native Web3 sneaker. What does that even mean? First native Web3 sneaker. I mean, there's been a lot of sneakers. Combining decades of Nike tech and artifact vision to merge worlds, details, and facts. Maybe we can check this out sometime later. I know a lot of you guys aren't just artifact, right? So we'll just keep moving on. Reddit NFT minting hits new high. So it looks like on December 3rd, there was another minting activity in Reddit, and 255,000 avatars were minted. And avatars are probably going to be a big deal, guys. We just don't know 100% how. We know that you're going to use them to represent yourself on social platforms, but are people going to value that to the point where that becomes their virtual avatars? Probably. I don't see why we would be human beings when we're making avatars of ourselves in the virtual world. I don't see why we would use human avatars. Like, I would happily use my digital avatar. I'm sure CryptoPunk owners would use a CryptoPunk. I'm sure Bored Ape users will use Bored Apes. And suddenly content and stuff will be created with virtual avatars, right? So that's quite interesting. There's a big day there. Didn't really put too much activity on the Reddit floor, on the Reddit avatars. So this is quite interesting. I bought a bunch of these. I think I sunk 40 ETH into Reddit avatars, and they've probably come back to the prices that I bought it for, maybe even a little bit less. Activity has dried up a little bit, but the more Reddit does with avatars, the more kind of over time, the more valuable the original mint is going to be. That's the design of the Genesis, right? The design of the Genesis is to buy the first release of something that's going to be super big, and then just chill, because over time they're going to be valued. Now, this is probably going to do the CryptoPunks thing, where it's just going to lay low for a very long time, and then once that area goes full crazy and everyone's like making TikTok videos and Reddit videos and stuff with their avatars, and you can get one of these to represent yourself, and suddenly you have a social status on this, maybe it'll get some value. But we never know, guys. It could turn to dust. It could turn to absolute zero. So you got to take both sides, right? All right. Let's keep going. Twitter, Midjourney. It's I believe it's sort of like an image generation application where you could get it to generate images that are pretty interesting. So you could actually, I think they were getting sued because people were saying, make me an image that's of a forest that is of the style of an artist called this, and suddenly it would go and almost plagiarize the art or make a spin-off of it, and it'd be pretty damn accurate. But I mean, you're just taking artists' work and styles that they've spent decades to perfect, and you are just taking that and making them irrelevant almost overnight. So there's some legal aspects that the AI industry has to figure out, especially when it pulls information and imagery from creators. And look at this is stunning. This is an artwork with, what's this, a futuristic tool, a futuristic model. House built on the ocean covered by trees. Beautiful. I think AI will probably come up with some creative aspects that human beings may never have thought of, right? Maybe it can't think of it because of its complexity of its brain at this point. All right, let's keep going. RumbleKong. So I'm looking at this just like you guys. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like they released the game, which they've been waiting to release for a while. So it's time to upgrade your game. Hustle to a Kong strong win and unleash these jaw-dropping abilities in the Athlos arena. My bad. Has this been around for a while?
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another RKL video. Today we'll be showcasing some of the abilities that you can look forward to trying out in the upcoming RumbleKong.
RumbleKong was an
Today,
avatar project
we'll be looking at
where now you can actually use it to play games. It looks like they've built the game, and you can get your avatar to play these games. Now I'm not sure how it's going. It looks like a PS2 game. It looks pretty fun actually. Rush, unleash your player inner speed demon with the rush ability. If anyone knows the RumbleKong's team, I mean, Medikey would love to do something with these guys. Anyone, Medikey is slowed down in the sense of connecting into games, because the reality is, guys, 8 out of 10 games that were coming to us for the Medikey, they were just turning to dust. Like, they would just not even exist anymore after like 3 months of conversation, because half of them were rug pulls, half of them ran out of motivation, and they didn't follow through with what they were doing. They didn't have the resources to do some stuff. So although we are extremely excited to connect up to different games, we're waiting. We're just sort of waiting for some really legitimate projects to come up. So if you guys want to do something here, if anyone has a contact here, let's do it. Let's do Rumble Kongs and Medikey. Maybe if you have a Medikey, or maybe if you have Rumble Kongs, we can put them into our game. You know what? That's what we'll do. If you guys know the Rumble Kongs, guys, let's put their stuff in the Medikey game. So if you guys haven't seen the game that the Medikey is building, the kind of a virtual world that we're building. We are building a bunch of different things, right? We're building the Med Academy, games outside in Decentral and the Sandbox, but we're also building our own virtual world. So you can see, you can actually bring an artifact clone in here. You can bring a Cyber Kong in here. I mean, we should make it so that you can bring a Rumble Kong in here. You can shoot stuff, you can verse each other. We're making a bunch of different games. And honestly, guys, this is like version 1.1, what you're looking at. We've recently hired, since this video, we've hired like 6 more people for the Medikey. We've hired environmental artists. We've hired, game designers, all sorts of people that are going to transition this to a AAA looking game. But in the meantime, it's a hyper interoperable game, right? We want you to be able to bring in your NFT and showcase it in a certain way. So again, if you guys do know the Rumble Kong guys, let me know. Let's bring it in here. Right, let's bring in the avatar projects that you guys know are still building. Now it's been a good amount of time where the good projects are starting to separate from the crappy ones. But now is the time to, honestly, I want like 10 different avatar projects able to be playable in New Ganymede. Right, I just want to load it up with every interoperability function I can think of. It's gonna take a lot of time. But I think we can do it. All right. Let's keep going. CryptoPunks version 1. I think one of you guys brought this up. I don't know if any new things have happened. I don't think it has. It looks like it has got a little bit of popularity. So if you don't know what this even is, CryptoPunks and some other projects like Etheria and a lot of other projects actually launched test projects before they launched their final versions. And the world came to know their final versions as being the only version. But as developers roll the clock back on blockchain, they realized that there was an earlier version that they had released, the developers had released. So it looks like this is a version 1 that was released from Lava Labs. And now everyone's running to these and saying, well, these are going to have value because these are the actual original CryptoPunks. They're the version 1s. They're not the ones that Lava Labs acknowledge. In fact, Lava Labs are probably not going to acknowledge this at all. But you know what? There's still a version 1. So I got 0 of these. I don't know how it's going to play out. Are people going to value what others value, which is the main one? Or are people going to value the version 1s? So, I mean, has there been any big sales? 5.2 ETH is quite a lot. I mean, it's $5,000 US for this sort of stuff. All right. Let's talk to you guys a little bit. Sort of answer some questions. I'll probably duck out another 5 minutes. Let's see what you guys are doing, guys. Mercedes says, I wonder if this is how Steph made the 5 full court shots on his IG post. Yeah, there's a video going around of Steph Curry taking a shot from halfway point and then him sinking it like 3 or 4 times in a row. And everyone's like, is this real or is this fake? No one can really tell the difference. But maybe he did use that board, something to make it happen. Proportional asks, are all these tools freely available or do we have to pay for them? Jasper, you have to pay for. I think it's like $70 a month. Some of these tools are free. So I actually just wanted to go through a bunch of different stuff. I didn't check if they were free or not free. I think a lot of them will become free or very minimal price. Hey, Maddie, you'd probably like the concept that vector space AI do. Free the fib. I'll check that out next time. Major Blazer, impressed that it was haptic feedback. Give me a prompt inspiration and I'll make an AI assistant artwork live while Maddie on stream, says Red Mankind. Red, well, good to see you, man. It's been a while. I I don't know if anyone gave you any inspiration. That's pretty cool. So BT says, I bought my first version 1 punk last week. Let me roll it back a little bit to Tiberius Max, who said, this is pretty legit and well funded. It is more like a sports league than just a game. I'll reach out to the team. Yeah, let them know, Tiberius, because the good thing is what we can do, right, with games in this space, in the metaverse, NFT, and even AI. Like, this is how this technology is going to work, right? The metaverse is going to connect social experiences. Gamification is going to get people to stick around these social experiences. So if RumbleKongs builds a game and they've got their own avatars, if Medikey builds a game and we've got our own way and our own games that we can do within that game, that world, and we merge the different avatars and NFTs we can use within those worlds, and then we keep building the Medikey, they keep building RumbleKongs, and suddenly now there's 2 games that are building for both asset types. See what I mean? So there should be hundreds of games building for the whole NFT industry because all these NFTs are usable in all of these places. Now, what's difficult is manually rigging and manually creating the assets, the 3D models, and the rigging and the animations that move in between the worlds. But this is where AI comes into play. And AI, beautiful, beautiful artificial intelligence, will start to generate at clicks of a button. When you make an avatar, and it's just an image, you can probably generate different avatar types, different 3D models, different sizes, whether big, small, or medium. You can rig it differently based on which game actions you want it to do. You can implement AI. You can implement, the animations it's going to take within those games. There's going to be some standardization. So AI is going to create standards that we can pull these avatar projects and bring them straight to our game. And that's what's going to happen. So although NFTs has a technology that has come out maybe 5-6 years ago and is slowly growing. AI is a technology that's going to make processes faster. Metaverse is going to connect everything up. AI is going to be your workhorse, your work engine, basically, that's going to do things for you, right? You're going to tell it to do stuff. You're going to make it build whole businesses and experiences for you eventually. What do you think about My Pet Hooligan and having it in your game? I don't know what that is. Proportional. Is that a OpenSea? Is that a My Pet Hooligan? Is that an NFT project? I'm just checking it out now. It looks pretty cool. All right, that looks pretty cool. We don't know what we're gonna do with the pets thing. Avatars make sense because it's your personal identity. Pets make sense, but we don't know whether the Medikey are going to make our own pets at some point. I think at some point it'd be good to bring in other pets as well. But like we want to do our own stuff as well, right? We want to have like mounts that you can, maybe flying tigers or lions or little rabbits that follow you around that can speak and talk and go and shoot monsters with you and all that sort of stuff. So, there's a lot of that creative process fun to do. Maybe we'll build our own, but integrate some others to have as well. Why not? Why wouldn't we do that? Yeah, that'd be fun. AI creative hackathon would be pretty cool. Maybe you can just have an AI. Maybe you can make AI, or people can run hackathons, but the only tools that can submit proposals are AI-made tools. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going a bit crazy now. Courtyard raised $7 million from OpenSea, Gary V, and more to tokenize physical collectibles. Right. Jake Spin Music. No, did it get deleted? I didn't delete anything. Maybe the message got retracted. I didn't delete anything, so I don't know what happened there. Mooncats as pets. Yeah, Patrick. All these OG projects. There's Mooncats. There's CryptoKitties. What was that? Was it Pixelmon? There's Pixelmon. There's Kevin. I'm sure Kevin's become a meme now. There's all this stuff, right? Yeah, crazy times. All right, guys. We're gonna end it over here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful 50-minute stream. Super stoked and excited to do this with you guys. Every time I do these streams, we realize how crazy AI is going to be. But as I also realize how small of an industry NFT is in comparison to everything else. Like everything is a dwarf. The large is going to be a convergence of everything coming together, which is going to be like constant evolution of virtual existence, or the metaverse as you'd call it. All right, guys, it's been fun. I normally do this for 35 minutes, it's been 50 minutes. So let's continue tomorrow. Anyone that's tuned in for the first time, remember, 8 a.m. Melbourne times, Monday to Friday Melbourne time. We go live on my YouTube. I'm gonna try to do a lot of AI content on Twitter and a bit of YouTube, since this wave is going a bit crazy and we need to figure out what's going on. We need to be ahead of this, guys. Let's join tomorrow, guys. Thanks for everyone joining. Let's chat tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.